The prisoner secretly hooked the latch outside the door with an iron hook. With a gentle pull, he opened the small window on the door, but just as he reached out to unlock the cell door, a wounded police officer suddenly rushed in. The officer hurriedly locked the only exit behind him. Then he pulled out a first aid kit. Enduring the pain, he poured alcohol onto the gunshot wound in his thigh. The prisoner inside the cell looked utterly confused, but seeing the officer who had been escorting them now gravely injured, a bold idea suddenly came to their minds. Little did they know, a disaster was already closing in on them. At that moment, the man was peeking through the crack of the door, watching the officer's every move, ready to escape at the first chance. Just then, the sound of a chainsaw echoed outside the prison van. When the officer checked the monitor in the driver's cabin, the man shoved open the cell door, knocking the officer into a side compartment. Fortunately, the officer reacted quickly and grabbed the cell door. As he was about to be locked inside by the prisoner, he pressed his hand against the man's eyes. Enraged, the man flung the door open. He was ready to teach the officer a lesson, but after only a few rounds, the wounded officer was thrown into the corridor. At the critical moment, the officer drew his gun, demanding to know if the man had conspired with those outside. The man quickly insisted he knew nothing about it. Suddenly, a pungent smell filled the van. When one prisoner crouched down to touch the floor, he realized it was gasoline seeping into the cabin. Before he could react, the gasoline on the ground burst into flames. Within moments, the other cells were set ablaze as well. Just as the officer picked up a fire extinguisher to put out the fire, the man secretly opened all the cells. Facing such chaos, the officer could only draw his gun and warn everyone not to move. But just as he was cornered by the prisoners, an urgent message suddenly came through the radio.